Dude, look who's back. Look who Omegle threw back at me. Dude, I'll tell you, like embracing the unknown, things come back to you.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So sometimes in a good way, but you also have the bad way, kind of. I'm very familiar with that.
Is that a cigarette you got or is that a
Yeah,
joint?
it's just a cigarette.
Okay. I was gonna say.
We we YouTube friendly over here.
Yeah. That's right. Uh-huh. Cool, dude. Okay, before we get cut off again, I'm gonna ask you these questions. Oh wait, but you didn't finish the story about how you changed your name to Jetfire.
That basically was the story. I mean, just nickname I went by for so long. Hated my name all that time. Felt like changing it. Went ahead and changed it.
What was the why was that your nickname?
I literally cannot remember. Like I adopted it so long ago, and it just stuck for so long. It's like, yeah, this is a thing now. Going with it.
Wow. What was your original name? Your name before Jetfire?
I plead the fifth.
Fair.
Okay, I'm
Absolutely
definitely
fair.
like, oh god, I fucking hated my name. Like,
Was it like really formal? Was it like what was the thing about it?
it's not really like it was just boring. Like,
Mm.
like there's no flair to it. It's like, oh shit, my nickname has plenty of flair to it. I'm going with that.
Cool. So did
Well,
you receive any backlash for that from your family at all?
oh, not really, but like mostly like my family, like my family's like kind of extended in my area. It's like my aunt and uncle and my cousin and all that shit around me. But it's like, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. But, but like my mum fully supported it. My dad, well, he barely fucking knew about it. Although he had like Parkinson's and shit, so he didn't really know what was going on half the time. So yeah, everything worked out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome that your mom was supportive of that. You know.
Oh, my mum's the best. Like she's cool with everything.
Wow. It sounds like unconditional love. Um,
Oh, absolutely. Like my mum's like, whatever the fuck you do, at the end of the day, she's right. She's still right there for you.
wow. That's difficult. Like if I ever had a kid, that would be so hard for me. I think.
No, like as children, we never would fully understand like just what our parents go through, like all everything they have to deal with. It's like at the end of the day when they're still caring and shit. It's like when you grow up, you kind of get a sense for it, but until you're a parent, you never really fully understand.
Can only imagine. Do you have any interest in kids? In having kids?
That's the real. Don't know about that. It's like looking at the direction that children are going nowadays. Is like God, like some places I look on social media and shit. It's like my kid acted like that. God, you would get such a beating. Like,
Do you think that like I don't know if your child misbehaves, like do you feel like a spanking is an an appropriate punishment?
in some cases, like people are probably gonna hate me for that, but like in some cases where it's like you're really going too far with things, like you really need that. This is wrong. Don't do it. But like most things, like 90% of things, can be solved with just sitting down, talking to them. You know,
Mm-hmm. Like they're a
and
human
there's like,
being. Yeah.
yeah, well, like they're a human being. They understand shit if you just explain it right. Like, sure, explaining things isn't exactly easy, but you just find a way to explain it, and then shit should be okay, maybe.
I
I don't know.
feel yeah, like actually I think that we were talking about listening earlier.
Mm.
And like the more that a parent kind of does things because if they say like because I said so, or they use kind of like violence towards like proving a point, that actually reinforces the child to not listen as much, you know? Whereas like if you sit down like you were saying, like
Def-
that creates the habit of listening for the kid, you know? So you might be onto something
Definitely
with that.
that whole that whole because I said so bullshit like that doesn't work. It's never worked. Like you actually got to explain it. Like if you have experience in what they're doing is wrong, then shit, just explain why it's bad. Like, it's not hard. Like
I I was just watching like I was just in the grocery store today, and I was walking, and there was like this mom with two crying kids, and the one girl's like screaming because she can't get like a yogurt thing, and like her mom was just like, the girl was just like, why can't I get it? Why can't? And the mom was like, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. So just quiet, quiet. And it's like, in a moment like that, I can understand, like, you're with those kids 24/7 and they're screaming, and like, you get fed up. You know, like, you just have to have such insane patience to be able to be a good parent. Um,
absolutely. But I mean, like in those situations, like yeah, you're out in public, you're kind of causing a scene. Like you want to just shut up. But at the same time, it's like actually, if you just told it to them, like like we don't have the money for it and shit, then yeah. But at the same time, it's like you were a kid once. You should know how difficult things are for like kids to just listen and accept things. So like, and then you decided to be a parent. You should kind of have an idea of how things are gonna go. Like if you can't handle that, then like, you shouldn't have kids. I
mm-hmm.
think that's like one thing people need to like. Having kids isn't easy. You shouldn't just pump them out like it's nothing. Have some understanding of what you're getting yourself into.
It's yeah, it's nuts. You know, I'm turning 30 in like less than a month now, and I'm thinking like my parents met when they were 30, and they had me when they were 35, and I mean I could see myself getting married in the next few years, but like having a kid, like not till like 45, dude. Like I want years to spend with my partner, you know, like traveling or doing whatever, you know what I mean?
It's definitely not something to rush into. You got to have that strong foundation with the parents and shit before like it's worth having a kid. It's like the
Patience and
whole
money. Yeah, money.
oh yeah, like patience definitely the number one thing, but then money to like actually support the kid. Like you got to have that there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like you're gonna be ruined.
Yeah, what are you gonna do for diapers?
That's definitely an important one.
Oh, God. Anyway, so talking about babies now. That's where that's the tangent we went on this time.
I wonder
Okay.
what will come next.
Yeah, embracing the unknown, dude. Okay, let's see. 21. It's the first one. Yes. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, I have so many. Oh, I guess my pet like I don't know the kind of I mean it's just the people who act just like the whole group of people that just act like the exact same. Like it's just so annoying. Like people like when coming on Omegle, you got just all the blank screens and shit. It's like so many people doing that. Just fuck off with it. Be different. Like it's just like
Yeah, be
people.
yourself. Put yourself out there, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's just like everything's the same. It's like okay, well, why would I speak to you? I already know someone like you. Get the fuck out. Go away. Give me some originality. Like be yourself. Like as you said, just stop copying everyone else. Like, fucking hell, I hate that. It's so boring.
Yeah. Yeah, when people follow the crowd.
Mm,
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that the reason people come on here, even like people that are jacking off or whatever, Like, I think that everyone to some extent really wants to just connect to another person, you know?
Oh, I mean, like definitely like doing something similar and connecting with people with the same interests. Like that's fair dues. That's a whole other thing. But when you're doing shit exactly the same as someone else, like mm,
Yeah. Maybe these I think a lot of people just really don't know what their self is. I think that's, like
that definitely, yeah. I mean,
so,
like with the whole social media and shit developing and people looking up to some people on the internet and then just behaving like them and not learning to be themselves, like definitely not very good thing to have. Like,
no.
if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, social media forces you to have a very tailored persona, you know.
Mm,
And like Omegle Omegle is actually a great place to kind of like let your hair down and have a um it allows you to get messy, and to like play around with that, but
definitely.
I mean, of course, there's like the extent of like people jacking off, and you don't, that's not that. Um,
That's just the whole that little group of depraved people that just need to get a life. Like
yeah, I just feel bad for
there is
them.
porn sites
You know,
out there. Go over there.
yeah, yeah, I
I
just
don't know
feel
about
bad for
feeling
those
bad
people.
for them. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, like maybe there's a little bit of feeling bad for them, but at the same time, it's fuck them.
yeah, yeah.
Like they're
Omegle is
just
Omegle is I don't think isn't a good place to come to learn to let your hair loose because like people are like, hey, you're fat or you're ugly or you're old or I mean that's if people come on here to be vulnerable and they're met with that, that just
mm,
generates hatred, and that's
oh,
not good.
absolutely. Like, I mean, it's a great place to come and like let your hair down because of the whole anonymity thing. But there's letting your hair down, then there's just being a fucking dick. Like it's just a whole nother level. And people who do that is just get a life. Like, come on, you're not gonna get anywhere doing that. Like everyone's gonna fucking hate you. You're just gonna develop this whole thing of just being a dick throughout the rest of your life. You're gonna get nowhere.
Totally. I completely agree with that. Like the world is already filled with so much hatred. Like why are you adding fuel to the fire?
Absolutely. Like the one thing we're not short of is just hatred and people being dicks. Like we have enough. Be different. Do something else with yourself. Yeah. Do something else with your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see what we got here. 33 was your next one? All right. Ah, what is one strange fact that we don't already know about you?
Strange fact. Oh, that's a real tough one. Like, I mean, um, I don't know about strange because everything strange about me is just basically on the show. Like, I don't hide my strangeness. I could go with just a general fact you probably wouldn't guess about me if that works.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, like I said, the fact is, I might seem like confident person and out there, but like deep down, like I am not at all. Like I am a very sensitive, shy, and reserved kind of person. Like I definitely wear my heart on my sleeve most of the time. It's like very easy to offend and shit and upset.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Well, I don't know about easy to upset. Like it kind of depends on the situation. When it comes to Omegle and shit, like good luck upsetting me. I don't give a fuck what y'all got to say.
Yeah. So for you, like, what is that switch? Like, how are you able to, like, go into one circumstance and be able to switch it and then go into another one and wear your heart on your sleeve, like, very openly?
It's mostly just a case of if it's just some random person on the internet, it's like, yeah, I don't weigh much in your opinion. But if it's someone I know very well and like we're close, then they can definitely cut me deep if they wanted to. Because like I care about you, about your opinion and whatnot. But I guess it's the general like strangers and people you care about. Like, just that general dynamic does it really.
Yeah. And I think that's also, that shows, um, that's a testament to your listening, because
Mm.
people that listen more receive. And so if you're open and someone kind of is insensitive in wording their thoughts to you, then that just shows that you are actually receiving what they're saying, you know?
Definitely. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's the one thing people know me for. It's like I'm a great at this, just sitting back and listening to what you say. When it comes to saying something, it's like I don't know what to say. I'm fucking awkward as shit.
Yeah. So,
It's also one thing that annoys a lot of my friends. It's like I don't generally message first. I don't hold the best conversations because I don't exactly have a lot of input.
oh,
It annoys a lot
interesting.
of people, but it's that like select few that can actually get along with it. It's like, hey, we cool.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you really like to observe and also absorb, um, you know,
Ooh,
things. You know, for you, that it seems like that's where your comfort zone is. You know.
that absolutely like I definitely like tend to observe and notice things that people don't notice. It's great fun.
Hmm. Yeah. Could you
Like
before we?
especially when out in person, like I notice something.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. I was
It's like
actually.
generally out with people, talking over it, like, but yeah, generally out like when out in person with people, like something weird is happening over there, like no one but me notices it. It's like, hey, there's weird shit happening over here. No one paying attention. It's great fun.
Are you like more aware, you think, of social things, like the things that your friends don't really see are social things, or?
Mm, I don't know. I'm like my social awareness is kind of like low down, and with things I'm good at, like I'm terrible at it.
Hmm.
I mean, I do generally kind of pick up on most social cues, but a lot of them it's like that's another one that annoys a lot of people. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Cool. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, sorry I was speaking over you. I think there's like a delay in the video and speech, so it's,
Yeah,
we're trying to figure it out. Okay.
I mean,
And
I hate to be that guy, but I think it's on your end because my internet's amazing.
yeah, dude, my internet is so fucking awful. It is like so bad. I need to figure it out.
Are you running on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
There's your problem.
So I should just
Like,
hook it into like an Ethernet cord.
hardwired is always the best way to go.
Okay.
'Cause then you don't suffer like interference and whatnot.
That makes sense.
But I mean, not everyone can do that, so you got to work with what you got.
Yeah, I don't think there's even like an Ethernet outlet. There has to be. There has to be somewhere in this house.
I'm gonna bet most likely your only outputs to jack in would be on your modem or your router itself, which is probably gonna be far away.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look into that though. I think I'll get an Ethernet cord maybe tomorrow. I think that'll really help, actually, dude. Yeah, I appreciate that. Um,
If you want to do it properly, get yourself a good run of some Cat 6 cable and just make your own cables.
oh, really?
I did that. Like, I have so many cables running around in my house. It's like, I fucking hate Wi Fi. Run 1,000 cables everywhere. Problem solved.
So what's the difference?
But,
So what's bad with Ethernet cord? Is that just not optimal?
like, you could definitely get away with the standard Cat 5 cable and whatnot, but when you're an enthusiast like me, it's like, I want the best. Let's go with full Cat 6 cabling and whatnot and have zero problems and future proof the shit out of my setup. Because, like, at the moment, like, I don't even have like gigabit and shit running in my house, but like, with Cat 6 cabling, it's like, when gigabit finally does come to me, it's like, I don't have to upgrade nothing.
Wow.
Because like, with the average setup in the house, you're never going to saturate a Cat 6 capability. So, hey.
See, it's like you're speaking another language to me right now. I've never heard any of these wires ever before, ever.
And
So
it is cool. Like, not a whole lot of people do. It's just occasionally you find people like me. It's like, I am all about getting the best performance with no interference and shit.
well, that's great. I mean, yeah, I'm learning something I have never even thought about. And what's cool is like my last like maybe 3 or 4 interviews just have sucked because of internet, and it's disrupting the quality of my videos and conversations. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate your wisdom on that.
That's no problem. Although if you are gonna do like you do gonna like make your own cables and shit, you definitely want to look up some guides and stuff on the internet before you do, because first time around it can be pretty complicated.
Okay, well, good to know.
Maybe look at getting a proper like kit for it.
What would I look up? Like a cable kit, like internet cable kit?
If you look on Amazon, you can just look up standard RJ45 crimping kit.
Could you type that in? Because there's no fucking way I know what you're saying.
There's a, yes, something like that. You'll definitely find it.
Yeah, there's no crimping. I don't even know. That sounds like a dance move. Like,
No, it's because like when you're making the cables, you slide the wires into the connector, and then you got to squeeze them together so they stay in place.
oh, interesting. Wow. Something new every day, dude. Something new every day.
Yeah, definitely something new. But I mean, like doing this kind of thing, like it's not your average everyday thing. Like only a small group of people are going to be taking it to this level for their home setup and shit.
Hmm. Okay, you ready for your last deep question?
Oh, this was number 2 when you said this is going to be a good one. Like, yeah, I'm ready for this one.
Okay. Define
Before we
hatred.
do,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
before we do, like I don't know if you can like pause your recording or whatnot. I really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Go to the bathroom. I'll keep it recording just because I think it's funny. All
I'll be back in a minute.
right, man. Cool.
You can enjoy staring at the car you're back there.
Okay, great. Oh, dude, this is great, man. I love this. Just hanging out, talking, learning about crimping cables. What? I'll tell you. I mean, this is something that you learn. Okay, it is 12:30. Oh my God. Oh no. Midnight 30 here in Sarasota. Oh my God, that means it's like 5:30 over there. It's 5:30 where Jetfire is. Crazy. Wow. Didn't even think about that. Let's see, what do I have tomorrow? Nothing. Right? Dude, I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, having a good conversation.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's the one I'm used to myself. All right. So this last one. Define hatred.
Oh, that's a very tough one. I mean, I guess there's like different levels to hatred. There's like I guess like proper like full on hatred could like probably stem from like ignorance of a subject and whatnot, or understanding of something. Like, tough one. Like, oh, I really don't know how to fucking answer that one. Yeah, I'm really fucking drawing a blank on that. It's like, I guess I definitely got like just ignorance of a subject, not understanding or seeing someone's point of view, and not going back to listening, like not listening to someone's explanation of it and such. Refusing to understand something. I think that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, ignorance and refusal to learn.
Mm. Although,
Yeah,
I guess it's not like, yeah, ignorance and refusal to learn, but I guess there's some things you can just absolutely hate, like even though you do. Actually, no, that. Hmm. That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, it's like you got some things you don't understand, but then there's some things you do. Yeah, because going for a fucking weird subject, but the whole pedophilia thing, 'cause that's predominant at the moment. Like, you can definitely just hate that, but at the same time, it's like it makes like people probably don't understand it that much. Not to say it should be accepted in any way, definitely not. But
right.
maybe maybe some understanding there. I just took a fucking weird turn, didn't it?
No, 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 no. That's great. No, it makes sense, right? Because like people, there's the label of pedophilia, which is like, of course, a person who like manipulates young children who don't know or who are innocent into doing things like against their will. Like that's the idea of a pedophile. But then you get into an actual human being's brain about why they have an affection for it, and then it becomes way more complicated, right? It's
So
like
I've
and
seen,
oh, I'm sorry, go for it.
like I say, like I've watched a whole bunch of people like talking about it and shit on YouTube just because it gets put in my recommended list. But it's like there's a whole, not just like looking at children in a sexual way, but there's also like the feeling of control and shit. Like that kind of thing plays into it. It's like shit gets pretty deep when you actually look into it.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrifying because
Mm,
yeah, I feel like love and hatred are very they're two sides of the same coin because to really hate something, I think hmm, hmm, there has to be
it
some
gets those in
yeah.
those extremes of things like love and hatred on the very ends of the spectrum. It's like you really got to have strong feelings for something, but then it's the why do you have these strong feelings for something? Because I guess the same thing is like defining hatred is like defining why or what love is like why you love something. It's like the same thing as why you hate something. Interesting question on that one. Like definitely gets you thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a certain kind of um, investment that's needed to hate something,
Mm,
and maybe it's I think it it's tied to like our idea of ourselves or and like how if something completely goes against the narrative, like philosophically and deeply goes against the narrative of your story, then
mm,
then that's hatred. But if something uplifts your idea of yourself and makes you believe in your ideas and makes you believe in your story, then that's love. And what's
mm,
tied to both of those things is that we have a story, right? And that we define ourselves through labels. And so,
mm,
but like your name, right? Like Jetfire or your name before that, right? You existed before your name did, you know? And the name that we have for ourselves is just a story that we reinforce day in and day out. And we make choices based on the story that we almost ascribe ourselves. And so, like, if we can relinquish, this is going deep. I'm just kind of on a train right now. If we,
Hey, I'm all for it. Go for it.
yeah, if we're able to disconnect our actual presence from the story we create for ourselves, we can dissolve hatred. We can dissolve hatred and also dissolve this idea of what love is, right? Which is like the reaffirmation of our story. But it'll be okay because then we'll just be living in the present. We'll just be here now. Um, yeah, that's my
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I can definitely see that. That's an important thing, you know. Instead of focusing on the past and the future, you're in the now, so focus on the now. Like that's the most important moment. Like let go of shit that's happened. Worry about tomorrow. Just what you're doing now. Put all your attention there.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that like now is unknown always. It's just one moment after the other. And if you really let yourself listen, like you've been talking about, then there'll always be new things coming and it'll always be a new discovery and you'll learn and yeah, that's my I love this shit. I love thinking about this stuff. Um
There's nothing better than a good, deep philosophical thinking moment. Like,
isn't it great?
it's
When
just,
you hit that train of thought that just
mm, like as most people think, it's like when you get in the shower and you really start going off on things. Like there are always some good moments.
yeah. Dude, I'm gonna recommend a book to you that I love. I love it. Ever heard of this guy?
Connection's going weird again.
Oh,
I didn't catch what you said there. The connection went weird.
okay. Yeah, I just said I'm gonna recommend a book to you. Um, that's I don't know if it kind of like what I was talking about with love and hatred is I got those like kernels of those ideas from that book.
Is it? Can I get an? Oh, I can get an audiobook on Amazon. Thank fuck.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I can get it free with a trial Audible membership. I'm going to have a look into that later. Let's not sign up for trials and shit when I'm drunk and then I fucking won't remember it tomorrow and then the trial ends and I start getting billed for something I don't remember signing up for.
that's real life. That is truth.
I have done this before and it's terrible. It's like when you're down to your last few bucks and then this thing you signed up for is like, I'll have that. Where the fuck did you come from?
That's
Oh,
me
that's
with
good fun though.
Hulu. I have that with Hulu. They just take that random like $9 out. I'm like, come on.
Hulu, really? Come on, Netflix is where it's at.
You have to have both. You have to have both.
Oh no, fuck that. Ugh. Like I was always just like, yeah, Netflix is the best. Let's go for that. And luckily, I cancelled my Netflix because I just didn't fucking use it that much. And then the whole controversy, I think is how it's said, with Netflix came out. It's like, oh, I'm glad I cancelled it. I don't know if you know, but they had the whole thing where they had their Netflix original called Cuties. That's just fucked up.
Wait, what happened with that?
It remember rightly, it all boils down to this. I think it was 11 or 12-year-old girl, and I think it was a Muslim background, and it basically focuses on her learning about twerking and shit with a bunch of friends, and that. It's like, this is 100% pedophilia right here. Like, this is sketchy as all balls.
Oh God.
Like to the point where Amazon actually took down their description and shit of it and had to change it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, no.
it's pretty fucked up.
I think I heard that
I
was
don't.
like, yeah, that was a while ago, right? And yeah,
I think it was a good bit ago, but it's still pretty bad.
yeah, that's.
Like 12-year-olds and twerking should never be put together. Like no, no.
I bet you. What's sad about it is I bet it got a ton of media attention, and then people started watching it, and now it's probably doing great. I bet you.
Sad as it is, you're probably right there.
Disgusting.
Like
But
if it was YouTube, you'd have the comment section of timestamps and shit. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, dude, this was really great. I realize that it's probably about 6 o'clock for you.
getting there, getting there. This is the time when I'm most awake.
Oh my God.
Ignore the fact I'm really drunk. I'm still awake. Yeah.
Man. Well,
It's always more fun to be had late at night.
yeah. Well, dude, before we go, are there any kind of like last things that you'd like to say to the audience out there watching? Any advice or any last thoughts?
I guess going back to what we were talking about it earlier, just learn to listen, people. It's easy. It's the one thing this world really needs is listening and understanding for shit. You know, plain and simple.
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude, it was a pleasure listening and listening to you and talking to you. I got a lot of.
Yeah.
It's fun to bounce ideas off of you. You know.
Yeah. That's the one thing also society needs. Like bounce some ideas off of people and shit, you know. Could definitely lead to new ideas which are probably better than the old idea, whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, because it's interesting you say bouncing ideas off of a drunk person is good. So, yeah, definitely an interesting experience. Like definitely out of the norm of what I usually find on Omegle and whatnot.
Cool, man. Yeah. Well, I care a lot about like. I mean, I'm only one person, but like, I really care about shifting the culture of what social media is into something that's actually social and actually something that's educational and where people like feel heard. Um, yeah,
Although I mean, you say you're only one person, but it only takes the right person at the right time in the right place to make all the difference in the world.
yeah.
I might destroy the meaning of what I just said, but that kind of came from a game.
Oh, did it? Drat.
Like, but it's still a great message, you know.
It's
Good
still
old
good.
Half-Life 2, the right person in the right place can make all the difference in the world. Anyone watching knows that reference. Definitely should leave a like for that. It's great.
Cool, man. Well, dude, it was great, and I'm gonna upload. I think your first video already uploaded, and so
Oh,
this
really?
this part two is gonna come up right now. So,
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to do stuff.
all right, man.
Just because it's me, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave a like already. Bam.
Awesome, dude. Okay. Well, I'll see you around and make sure to email if you want to talk again. Like, that'd be awesome to just like sit and you know do this again sometime.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you want to add to my Discord or something, I'll be cool with it.
Oh, actually, dude, yeah, put that down here so maybe people can check it out as well.
Oh, this will be interesting. Picking my Discord up for random people. Hey, hey, no, that's not a hashtag. That's a hashtag. Hey, there you go. And anyone at all, feel free. What comes my way.
My gigantic audience, my millions and millions of subscribers.
Hey, you'll get there one day. I'm sure of it.
One person at a time. Each person's story is interesting. you know.
Yep.
All right, man. Till next time.
Yep. Have a
See
good one, Dit.
ya.
I wish you luck with YouTube.
Thanks, man. Bye. Well, man, awesome that we were matched again. That was pretty cool. Wow, we talked for like a total of probably like an hour and 15 minutes. Just chilling, dude. Just chilling.